Ogedengbe agbógungbòrò adi kaka lójú ogun. Have you heard of a man called Ogedengbe Agbogungboro, the lion of Ilesha himself? Today we are going to be talking about the story of Ogedengbe Agbogungboro adi kaka lójú ogun, the lion of Ilesha land. Long ago, before the white man's government and long before the railroads cut through the forests of Yoruba land, there was a warrior whose name caused both fear and pride to rise in men's hearts. Ogedengbe Agbogungboro, the man whose strength swallows mountains. He was born to a humble family in Atorin, near Ilesha. From childhood, he was no ordinary boy. His arms were strong like the limbs of the Iroko tree, and his eyes burned with the fire of destiny. When other children wrestled for fun, Ogedengbe wrestled for honor. When they played with the wooden sticks, he crafted a spear and trained his aim against the wind. When Ogedengbe came of age, Yoruba land was in turmoil. The kingdoms of Oyo, Ekiti, Ijesha, and Ibadan were all struggling for power. The land was soaked in war, and bravery was the only language of survival. The Ijesha people, known for their courage, sought a man to defend them from constant raids, and it was then that Ogedengbe stepped forward. He took an oath before Ogun, god of iron, declaring, he said, "If I fall, may iron reject me. If I flee from battle, may my shadow never follow me again." From that day, he became Ogedengbe Agbogungboro, meaning the man who battles like a thunder that breaks stones. Ogedengbe's fame spread quickly. When the Ibadan warriors came to subdue the Ijesha, they met the thunder of his sword. He fought with strategy, courage, and the cunning of a leopard. It was said that he never attacked blindly. He will study the land, listened to the birds, and spoke to the spirits of the hills before drawing his cutlass. At the Battle of Kiriji, the war that lasted 16 long years, Ogedengbe became the rallying force of the Ekiti Parapọ̀ Alliance, a coalition of the Ijesha and Ekiti warriors. The Ibadan army was powerful, disciplined, and armed with muskets. But Ogedengbe's spirit was fiercer. He turned the hills of Imesi into fortresses and used the dense forest as traps for his enemies. When his war drummer Ayanroki sounded, even the timid found courage. His voice thundered across the camp. "Ẹ má fòyà, ọmọ Ògún kò bẹ̀rù ikú. Fear not, the child of Ogun fears no death." Legend says Ogedengbe could fight for hours without tiring. His strength was mystical. Some believed his mother had bathed him in the blood of a leopard as a baby. One tale even tells of how an entire enemy surrounded him, thinking they had trapped him. But he leaped into their midst, his sword flashing like lightning. When the dust settled, none of his enemies stood upright. Women even sang his praises in the markets. Ogedengbe Agbogungboro adikaka lójú ogun. After years of battle, the endless wars that finally ended with the peace of 1886, a truce signed between Ibadan and the Ekiti Parapọ̀. Though peace returned, the name Ogedengbe had already been carved into the heart of history. He returned to Ilesha not as a warrior thirsting for blood, but as a hero of his people. He was honored with many titles and lived out his days as a respected elder, still commanding respect across Yoruba land. When he died, the Ijesha people mourned deeply. They said the earth shook softly that day, for a lion had gone to sleep. To this day, in Ilesha and all Ijesha land, His name is spoken with reverence. Streets, schools, and monuments bear his memory. He was not only a man of war, but a symbol of courage, leadership, and Yoruba unity. A man who proved that valor is not in the weapon, but in the heart that wields it. And so the griot and the drummer still sings Ogedengbe. Agbógungbòrò adìkaka lójú ogun.